Hello everybody, it's me, Brianna. Some of you may know me as Hunter Launch Stables in Region 10. And I'm not going to Breyerfest this year, but I figured I'll just play along and have some fun in trying to guess what mold the surprise horse is going to be on this year. Because I see a lot of people doing it, and Stormy Strikes puts out a speculations video every year, so I think I'm going to start doing the same thing and putting out a speculations and guest video each year as to what I think the surprise horse is going to be. I mean, whether I'm going to Breyerfest or not, I am going to post a speculations video every year, so keep watching out for those, and I have a feeling this is going to be a lot of fun. So over here we're going to go over these first. These are horses that I believe are very strong candidates to be the surprise horse, and these guys are just so-so, maybe not. I don't know. I mean, this guy isn't even a huge possibility, but so let's start with this group here, the ones that I think it likely could be. Alright, so first we have Cigar, and this mold is in the live auction with a new tail, the show jumping warm blood tail, but I still wouldn't rule this guy out as being a surprise horse, because he very nicely fits the theme of Off to the Races. So I would not count this guy out of the running. Next we have Traditional Black Beauty. Nice older mold, but it's a nice galloping mold again. I think that this is actually a good possibility. It's an older mold, but it's still a nice kind of racing mold. He looks like he's racing, so I wouldn't rule this guy out just because he's older. Another one I wouldn't quite rule out yet is this guy here, the Pacer mold, because even though he is being used as a live show prize model, I believe it reserve champion prize model in one of the open shows, I wouldn't count this guy out just because he's like he might be old and vintagey, but who knows? Breyer could just surprise us and use a vintage type mold as the surprise horse. So I would not rule this guy out as a possible strong candidate for the surprise horse. Another one that I think is a super strong candidate for the surprise horse is this one here, Smarty Jones. I think this is a super strong possibility because it's a nice racing mold, and to be honest, I haven't seen them use this mold that often, so that's why I think that this guy is what it's going to be. I really think that this is going to be the mold that they're going to use. I could be right, I could be wrong, but I think this is going to be the mold that they're going to use. And before you ask, no, I don't have any affiliations with Breyer. I don't work for them, I don't have any ins, so I really don't know what the surprise horse is going to be, but I'd be willing to bet that this is going to be it. Smarty Jones. I'm 99.9% sure on that one. But even with that being said, that I think that that's what's going to be the surprise model as my personal strongest candidate. There's still some other models that could pop up as the surprise horse. Like this mold here. This is an older mold. This is Far Lap. It's a nice older racing mold. I mean, sure, it lacks some of the definition that some of the newer molds have, but it's still a lovely older mold. So I wouldn't count this mold out of the running either, just because of how nice it is. And who knows, maybe they will use a vintage mold like this or the Pacer. So another one that I see as being possible is this here. Now, the reason that I picked this here water horse instead of Smart Chick as being in my group of strong candidates, this girl, she's actually in action. She's like swinging around a corner, like chasing a calf or team roping or timed penning or something like that. So that's why I think she is a super strong possibility. Not as strong as Smarty Jones, but there's still a good possibility that this mold is definitely in the running to be the surprise horse. And my last one is, well, I figure it's called surprise horse. So what Breyer really wants to surprise us and really throw us for a loop? Well, say hello to Ruffian. Ruffian is already being used as the special run dead heat, but if Breyer really wanted to do something crazy, they could have Ruffian be the surprise horse as well as dead heat. And, well, I don't think anyone would see that coming, but personally, I think if they want to do something super crazy and way out there, then they might do that, which would be pretty funny, but pretty cool at the same time. Now, the last one that I think is a good possibility that they could use it is the Weather Girl mold. Now, she's a pretty trotting Arabian American and just trotting along. So she could be racing. She could be in a trotting race, and that's why she's trotting like this. But she's just a really nice mold in general. And to be honest, I don't see them using this mold a whole lot. So I don't know. She could be the surprise horse. And then I got one more that I think could be the surprise horse. I mean, maybe not as strong a possibility, but still. I think that possibly I mean, other than the Ruffian thing, here's another way that they could really throw us for a loop. They could have it be on, like, this mold here, the Saddlebred Stallion, because, well, he really doesn't have anything to do with racing, but he's definitely a nice older mold, and I don't really see him used that much. I mean, this year particular one is from 2014, and that's the last time that I have seen this guy actually used. So I think that would be a really nice surprise. If they really want to surprise us, they could either go for this guy, or they could go for Ruffian. Either one, to me, would be an awesome surprise horse, because they're both molds that I collect and both molds that I conga. So, as awesome as it would be, I would have to track down all 8 variations to have a, still somewhat complete conga, and, well, of obtainables anyways, and that will break the bank. So, I'm hoping it's not one of those two, but if it is, I'm prepared for it, because I've been saving to buy new horses for a while. So, this guy, I believe, is not a super possibility, but again, if Breyer really wants to throw us for a loop, This would definitely be a way to do it, because from what we all know, it was just this horse that was produced, and then they totally cut the mold to pieces. But here's the catch. And I forget where I read this, but Breyer actually made and kept held aside an unspecified number of unpainted Albaroso models. So I wouldn't count him out, but I would say it's definitely not a strong possibility. He's definitely not a strong possibility. Just because the mold was smashed and I don't know how many bodies they kept. Now the reason I believe that this mold could be, well, again, Arabians do race, and the way that I'm looking at this pose, he could be a stud stallion, kind of like striking out and showing off. I mean, I don't know, but it's a nice newer mold, and I haven't seen it used that much, so I would say he's a good possibility too. So most of these ones I'm showing you are good possibilities, but the first group was most likelies. So they could also use Bluegrass Bandit. Now, why, you ask? Well, it's a nice kind of newer mold. Well, not newer, not new, but newer. And she's really nice, and they haven't really done many runs on this mold. This particular one is back from Breyer 2013. This is Lady C. So, since then, I don't know if they've used this mold on any models recently. I could be wrong, but I haven't seen her used much, and for that reason, I think she could be a possible candidate for the surprise horse. This guy here, he may not be in a racing pose, but he's still a nice sporty mold, the Atticus mold. Though he's not racing, he could still be a strong possibility, because he's just a sporty looking mold. So, possibly, I don't know. So, yeah. And then, last but not least, Smart Chick. Pretty much all the same reasons that I said for the Bobby Joe mold. Quarter horses, barrel racing, team roping, timed penning, all that. But if they were to use a quarter horse, I really think that they are going to use one of these two quarter horses here. Because this one is actually in action, so I think this is a much stronger possibility than this guy. But I could be wrong. So, feel free to comment below if you agree with any of my guesses or speculations, or feel free to share your own guesses down below in the comments. I'm always happy to hear what others think. So, yeah. Have a nice day, and happy, I don't know, happy 3rd of July, I guess. Tomorrow being the 4th, doing this on the 3rd, so I guess I should just say happy birthday, America. See y'all next time. Bye.